Hello and welcome back to another episode of Fishy Film Fridays. We are coming to you live on a hallowed day in American history. That is January 6th. We're thankful that you're all joining us on this hallowed day to celebrate the American rule over Venezuela, as well as a Steelers victory over the Ravens for the division championship.
This isn't going to be relevant in like two. This will come out in a couple weeks. So how do you think the Steelers just did?
The Steelers just lost 23-20.
I'm putting them that they actually won 17-10 against Houston.
John?
There you go. I think that there will be a bombing on the field and they will cancel the game.
Will it be like when Bain blew up?
Similar to Bain.
Heinz Field.
And Heinz Ward fell.
Heinz Ward makes in the touchdown.
Except this time it will be DK will fall first.
DK kind of has a Batman-esque body.
He does.
What's the deal with his septum piercing, though? Like, you think he gets shit for that in the locker room?
I don't think anyone gives him shit about anything.
Yeah, that's a good call.
You think he's hung?
Oh yeah, with the
not as hung as,
upon the chimney with care.
Dude, I had
not as hung as I was when Marilyn Monroe was on the screen in this movie. And what movie is that? Are you asking? Well, viewers, the movie in question is All About Eve from 1950, directed by Mank.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's Mank, bro.
Oh,
how do you not know that?
Just learned.
Okay.
I saw Mank, that Netflix movie.
Yes, we're going to get to that. Trust me. So that's the movie that we're going to be discussing today. But first, I'd like to check in with my co-hosts. Let's begin with Timothy. Timothy, how you doing?
How do you see? What do you see? Let me tell you about the time I looked into the eye of a artichoke. Yeah. It's the 50s.
Nice.
I'm really glad to be here. Yes, January 6th, a day that will lay in infamy. And the hardball has been executed. And
he's this year's Mike Pence.
Mike Pence?
Yeah, they hanged John
Harbaugh. Yes, sort of. The storming of the castle. Yeah. This is a glorious day. So glad to be here. And
great.
Yes, I did learn recently that was Marilyn Monroe in the movie, so that's exciting.
It was, in fact, Marilyn Monroe. Next up, we have Jay Red with his full government displaying in the podcast chat. Jay Red, please share how you're doing.
Oh, Jesus.
That doesn't come on the thing.
Oh, jeez, man.
Crazy for you to put your social security number as your name here.
Yep. 2026 is great. We're 5 years removed from, the beginning of our revolution. The empire is not declining as our Canadian filmmakers tried to say about 40 years ago. We are prospering, and it's only going to continue to expand. By the time this comes on air, I think we'll all be in one of the three of either Panama, Colombia, or Greenland.
Not Cuba. Interesting take.
Not Cuba. I think we're a little afraid of Cuba. They have a lot of good surface-to-air missile technologies that people aren't quite sure about. But
Plus they have baseball players and people that like to talk about baseball in parks.
Yes, and people who use a lot of speakerphones. A lot of speakerphones. That is probably their greatest weapon against us.
Those old cars.
Oh yeah, those are cool. I'd like that.
Yeah,
They
would have driven those. They would have driven those in this film.
Yeah, they probably. I think the appropriate quote for this little introduction, it comes from Mr. DeWitt, though, of "You belong to me," as the world belongs to us now, as we are, the new Crusader Catholic podcast of 2026. Fishy Films is part of the new American Crusade. And I think we are going to help implement the nice cultural revolution in all of our new lands we acquire.
Yes, we will be required viewing to the Colombians.
I think that was Taylor Swift who said that.
Well, some of them have to continue over time. Maybe she was inspired. You think she might be watching? Well, Taylor, tell us in the comments. Actually, Travis is watching, as he is a big advocate of the arts in Northeast Ohio. So thanks, Travis. Shout out
Thanks,
to In the Heights.
Travis.
Shout out Travis. Okay, thanks for that lengthy introduction, Jared. So
I've been
let's get
good.
in-
I was on vacation. I went to
No, shut the fuck
Aruba and a
up.
cruise.
Shut up. So yeah, as I said earlier, we're going to be talking about All About Eve from 1950. Let's begin with what I assume is going to be a very short answer. Tim, have you seen this movie before?
No.
Jared, have you seen this movie before?
I did. I watched it in debate class back in sophomore year of high school.
Oh, that's
Why'd you watch
interesting.
it
We're
in
going to have to
debate
get into
class?
that. No, I want to save that maybe. No, go for it.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know why I think we were trying to figure out like how hot Marilyn Monroe was, and for some reason we had this for free on like a library movie.
This feels like a
website.
lie.
No, and I did not pay much attention. I honestly kind of forgot what was going on. But I remember there was a Family Guy episode that parodied this, where
Yes.
like Lois had like her version of Eve, and it was
Really?
like, about piano teachers. Yeah, it was actually I kind of enjoyed the Family Guy episode.
It's been
As a-
parodied many times, apparently.
Yeah.
Because it's a very famous film. It's considered, in fact, one of the greatest films in history. So we're really getting into this is probably the first one that we've ever got into that's like, people rank this as top 10 all time, like real critics. You know what I mean?
It's up there with Tenacious D, certainly.
I had never seen this movie before either. Of course, however, I've seen the Mank movies before. Now, Mank, of course, rose to prominence for potentially writing the entirety of the #1 film of all time, Citizen Kane, but that authorship is disputed to this day. And then he went on a hot streak after that, which included this one, which is probably his standout from that post-Kane period, perhaps. This is his single, like, greatest success of no disputed authorship. And then he was, as Tim referenced earlier, shown in a rather terrible Netflix film directed by David Lynch. And that movie was called Mank, and it showed Mank writing Citizen Kane and not getting the credit for it. And so,
How do you spell Mank? I'm trying to learn about him.
well, his full name is like Mank. It's impossible. Manko.
Joseph Mankiewicz?
Yeah,
That doesn't seem that hard.
it's hard. Mankoweicz or some stupid shit like that.
And he's from Pennsylvania. He's from Wilkes-Barre.
Yes, but he grew up in New York City.
Is it Wilkes-Barre or Wilkes-Barre?
Wilkes-Barre, which is why they reference Wilkes-Barre in the film, of course. Yeah. Let's see. What else do I have to say about Mank? So, Tim, you had seen the Mank movie, correct?
Yes.
I also saw that movie.
I remember hating it.
Yes, it was bad. Also, I watched that with my roommates during the pandemic, and we had a lot to drink and all started verbally like humiliating each other during the course of the film to the point that we decided to never discuss that night again, and we would only refer to it as Mank Night. So we'd say, "Don't talk about Mank Night." So that Mank has a very special place in my heart for that reason.
Something
Yeah.
Mank would do.
Yes, he's kind of a sassy boy, and he's got some all-time banger quips in this film. And it's he's known for his quick-paced, witty dialogue, and that's really on full display here. I wonder, Jared, if that might be why you watched it in your debate class, but it turns out you were just a horny boy,
Well,
which is fair.
it could have been it. It was recommended by one of our teachers to like, oh, this is a good one to try out.
Yeah, because it's like clean, fun, and it's like top 10 greatest movies of all time. So we begin with a sassy voiceover from a man
like that.
with a nice voice, and it's we've learned the speaker is Addison DeWitt, who Jared quoted earlier, and we're at a theater awards ceremony with some made up sounding award. And we're introduced to various people that are sitting at Addison's table, but we don't really know who they are at this stage. But maybe at this point, it's a good idea to get some character names and the people who are playing them out on the board, so our viewers and we are not confused. Does that sound like a good plan to all of us?
Yeah. Can I have a confession real quick?
Yeah.
Yep.
You got confused by who was who.
I accidentally watched There's Something About Mary in the beginning of my workday.
Yes.
And it took me about halfway through that to think, why did Danny pick a Ben Stiller movie? And then I had to
Right.
look in our text and I said, uh-oh. So
Yeah,
I bought
very-
2 movies for this. So I could
don't
do
even
some
know how to respond
parallels
to
as
that,
well with that.
honestly.
Yeah,
That one would have been fun.
It would have been fun.
This one's going to be fun too.
Cameron Diaz, pretty good looking back then.
Never really my type, but pop off.
I'll take Ann Baxter any day, though.
Yeah, Ann Baxter for sure. Okay, so with that on board, Eve, who's you might say is the titular Eve, is played by Ann Baxter. Ann Baxter, mostly famous for this role, not really that much for other things. And Ann Baxter, as I mentioned, at the end of our last episode, 4 women in this film received Oscar nominations for their acting, which is a record that has yet to be eclipsed by another film. And so this is like kind of like a masterpiece of women in...
No, the new Ghostbusters did it.
Yeah, I think you made the same joke at the end of the last episode. So this is a piece de resistance of female acting. And so one of the women who received that award is Ann Baxter for her portrayal of Eve. Then we have Betty Davis.
Ann Baxter died while hailing for a taxi. She had a stroke.
Classic. I hope to go that way as well.
She was 62.
Damn. Then we've got the famous Betty Davis, who is probably the most famous woman in this movie, other than Marilyn Monroe, who is not yet famous. So Betty Davis is in a shit ton of movies, very well regarded, huge friend to the gays, which we'll get to later. And she's portraying Margot, who is like an older actress, whereas Eve is like an up and coming actress.
40 years old.
Then we've got another woman, Celeste Holm. She's playing the blonde with the light, small curls and the shorter hair.
I love
that woman's name is Karen, who's a friend of Margot's. And Celeste Holm also receives an Oscar nomination for her acting in this movie. And then finally, to round out the acting nomination foursome, we've got Thelma Ritter, who plays Birdie, who's like a kind of maid type character. And she is also nominated, which is crazy because she's not a major character in this movie.
She's like a supporting role, like very minimal.
She didn't really even pop off either.
No, but they loved her work, I suppose. And now let's transition over to the men. We've got George Sanders playing Addison. He's got this great voice. He plays a lot of villains in old movies. We've got Gary Merrill playing Bill, who ends up marrying Betty Davis later in life, which is fun. Really? Then we've got Hugh Marlowe, who's playing Lloyd. Now, it is confusing. Bill and Lloyd, those are confusing guys. But
I got them mixed up all the time.
But Bill is with Celeste. No, Bill is with Karen and Lloyd is with Margot.
Yes.
At the start of the film.
And Addison's with Caswell.
Addison's chilling.
I thought he had Marilyn Monroe, Caswell.
I think Marilyn Monroe comes with the lawyer, Max, to the party. Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Not important.
Not super important. We'll get into that. So Hugh Marlowe is Lloyd. There is Max, who's the fat Jewish lawyer. That guy kind of rules. And then the other person of note, but she's not really that important in the movie, is Marilyn Monroe playing a woman named Caswell. This is a very early role for Marilyn Monroe. She's not even that famous yet, but goddamn does she look good. Yeah.
I didn't recognize her.
You didn't recognize her?
Yeah.
So my take on this is the first time ever that I've seen Marilyn Monroe and thought to myself, damn, she looks really good.
Yeah.
This is the first time I understood
the hype.
Yeah. When she takes off her fur at that party and she's got those bare shoulders.
She did pop off with that one.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I see why JFK fucked it all. Yeah.
And then killed her. And then had her killed.
No, RFK killed her.
RFK Sr.
And probably Junior helped out.
Junior would have been like 4.
You never know.
Distraction.
So those are the people that we're introduced to at the table, but we don't really know them at this stage. We see Eve Harrington win the big award. Eve Harrington is the brunette, short-haired brunette, and she's the youngest to ever win this award. And then, boom, we flash back. So it's like telling us the story of how we get to this point in time, right? So we see Margot's friend, whose name is Karen, meets Eve in an alleyway, and we learn that Eve has been basically stalking this other actress named Margot for a long time. And so Margot, then Karen is like, okay, I'm going to introduce you to the woman you've been stalking, which, like, that's a weird fucking move to be like, oh, you have this weird
Listen,
fixation on my friend. Let me introduce you. Right?
who would you stalk like this? Would you guys stalk anybody like this?
Who would I stalk like this? Rachel Sennett.
Rachel Sennett. Nice. That seems doable.
Adina Menzel,
Oh,
I don't know that
okay.
one.
the Alphaba from Wicked.
She's also the hot chick, one of the hot chicks in that Safdie movie.
Oh, the
Uncut Gems.
triangle head.
Uncut Gems. And then Tim, who would you stalk?
Mike Tomlin.
DK Metcalf. That was funny because he has a stalker. Okay. So then the people in this room interrogate Eve about her obsession with Margot, and Eve gives her backstory, which she says like, "Oh, I had this husband. He died. He was in the military." Anyone think about Jared there?
I didn't buy this story at all.
Really
I thought it was a
interesting.
pretty good story. I kind of liked it. I
How many
thought I believed
holes?
it.
How many holes? So many holes you could fill up with Swiss cheese.
Like
do you mean?
what? What are the holes?
It's the 40s. You move to a city on a whim. No one owns anything.
Listen,
so you
I've
just
watched
be a
Mad Men. I
transient.
know how Don Draper lies, and I could see right through it.
Yeah, this does have a nice Mad Men feel to it, actually. Although it, I guess, is about a decade earlier.
And it was really easy to lie about things back then.
Dude, that's
It
what
was.
I like. Think about like the Great Gatsby with
That's
that.
what I
Everyone
like, says the pathological liar.
I would have been a good 50s person.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you talk like a 50s person, so.
I try to have a nuclear family here.
And your treatment towards women, yeah. So then everyone leaves, and now Eve is just chilling with Margot's mans, who's Bill Sampson, right? And then Eve starts helping Margot and Bill at the airport, which this part, let's talk about this part. They're in the airport, and she's like, oh, I'll watch your stuff and hold your tickets and put your stuff through the luggage check, and you guys can just go wait at the gate. And then they just go and wait at the gate for like 5 seconds, and then they just walk outside to the plane.
Oh, yeah. There's a part where they're like, I have to go to the flight. I have 45 minutes. And it's like, you won't make it. But back then,
That
you
shit's
just walk
classic.
right on the damn plane. That goddamn underwear bomber fucked everything for us.
Yeah, like this is even like you think about pre 9/11, like you still had to like have your ticket a bit in advance, possibly online. You know, you had to be like packing carefully still. And then these motherfuckers are like, oh, you watch our stuff, you stranger that we've known for 3 hours, and we'll just go chill at the gate.
Yeah,
I've also wondered, like, how did you get your ticket beforehand? Did like someone drive to the airport? Did they mail it to you?
You make a call and you...
Yeah. And then how do you do the payment? Like the logistics of this. Yeah. Like, did you send cash in the mail? Did you wire money?
No, you probably go into the airport and buy it and then go back home.
And like planes must have crashed all the time, right? They couldn't have been that good back then.
I don't know, actually.
The terrorism probably wasn't the worry. It was just like, let's hope the pilot's not too drunk to fly.
Yeah, 100% the drunk pilot is, yeah.
Like it was like Crash, the movie, or Flight.
Flight, that's a good movie.
There was another thought around travel when they're driving in a car and it runs out of gas later on. And
yeah, let's save that.
No, I'm going to talk about it now. And they're like, let's go get gas from the house next door. What? What are you talking about? You're going to ask people for gas?
Dude, that's a thing around the world. Like in Australia, and like Canada, that's very normal for people just to like loan a few gallons or liters of gasoline or petro.
Somebody knocks
Americans
on my door,
wouldn't
they're
do
not
that though.
getting gas.
My parents used to have gas, but it was like for the lawnmower.
Yeah, but that was like 87 unleaded.
So it couldn't power a car.
Unleaded?
It could power, yeah, it could.
Yeah, so they could have helped someone out.
Yeah, I usually have like 2 gallons in my garage.
Jared's got a whole underground bunker filled with gas because he's worried that we'll lose Venezuela.
We might.
There weren't that many crashes.
What? Plane crashes?
Half a dozen crashes per year. That doesn't sound like a lot.
That's kind of a lot.
in the
It's
50s and 60s.
Considering how few planes were in the sky,
Yeah. And like half the world probably wasn't flying yet.
most of the world wasn't flying.
Yeah. So like,
Like this is when trains were still relevant.
But back
Yeah.
then, that was the golden age of flying. You know, you could get a
I gotta-
full meal. They'd pour you champagne. You could smoke on the flights. You could
Sexually
shit in
harass the flight attendants.
Yeah. Oh my god.
well, you can still do that. It just doesn't turn out as well.
Well, no, now it's like.
Now it's like you're on body cam, sit on the tarmac for 17 hours. We're gonna give you a Biscoff. Don't you dare get up from your seat. You know,
Hot
that
take,
kind
I
of
love
shit.
a Biscoff.
Dude, I buy Biscoffs at Costco very quickly.
They gave me one when I was sitting on the tarmac for 3 hours. They gave me a Biscoff, and it worked.
And you said fuck
Yeah,
off.
you're like, you know what?
But I ate it in about 13 seconds, like a rabid animal.
Was your phone, your data at least working on the tarmac? Sometimes they don't.
Phone died, no battery.
Oh, you're fucked.
Classic John Wolfe not having a charge.
You know,
phone.
think about this in like 50s air travel. There's probably no morbidly obese people flying that often.
Right.
Dude, I flew Frontier yesterday. Holy cow.
Oh my god.
I didn't
Broke
think we're
calling.
getting in the air. Oh,
Your
dude.
bank's calling. They're saying your money's out.
Dude, it was a strategic move. Hey, I got a question.
No,
Did you guys
Jared. No.
Did you,
No.
did you guys
Listen.
No.
Did-
No.
Do we not? Tim,
No.
I think this is unfair. He's not respecting.
Yeah,
my
let
ability to
him
ask a question.
talk.
Did you guys like how they introduced the characters in the beginning? Because I was trying to think. I'm like, would I have been lost without this?
I was lost with it.
Yeah, it took me a while.
Yeah, I wonder if
When
that
somebody
was like.
yabbers at me at the beginning of a movie,
It was going fast.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fast. Mank is fast. So in that spirit, we got a lot to get
Do you
through.
think Mank took like methamphetamines?
He was a big drinker, if you recall from the Mank movie.
Right. But he had to be popping something to get that energy.
Maybe, I don't know. So then Eve transitions from a stranger who takes their luggage to the airport to a live-in personal assistant within like the blink of an eye, which is pretty crazy. And she's like doing everything for Margot, including reminding Margot of Bill's birthday, which is like, that's crazy behavior because the
That was first red flag.
first red flag. And so then basically Eve is like really ingratiating herself with Margot at this point, making herself more than necessary, you might say. Birdie, who is the maid type person, doesn't like
her.
Eve, says that she thinks she's studying her. And at this point, once Birdie says this, Margot starts to get quite paranoid. She becomes jealous of Eve's behavior towards Bill, and she keeps repeating the exact same words that Birdie put into her mouth about, oh, she's studying me, she's taking notes, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So this is what kicks off Margot's kind of decline into madness.
And
Yes,
this her character reminded me a lot of The Substance, especially early on.
Yeah.
thank you for saying that. I was going to say that at some point as well. It also reminds me of Black Swan.
Absolutely. And only women could really do this, you know.
Dude,
Yes,
men are
this
just
is
trying to get out of
a
work. If I could
canonical-
find a replacement for me, I'd love it.
So like the reason we've watched this film is because we had this gay grad student in my lab, and he was like, you got to watch this movie. It's about women being crazy.
What does him being gay have anything to do with it?
Because as it turns out, this movie is considered a like cornerstone of gay culture because of like the catty remarks and things. Yeah, and Betty Davis is a huge fan of the gays, and so the gays love her.
Yes, we're aware of that.
Yes. So
We're
that's
aware
why
of
that was
that?
relevant.
Dude, yeah, she was like, she like donated a lot of money to like the Stonewall people.
Yeah, she was a very vocal and early supporter of the gays.
Pop off, Queen.
Yeah, pop off queen.
Soon Palm Springs, bitch.
And she's in a movie where women are so catty. And so this cattiness continues at a party, which is Bill's birthday party that Margot throws for him. And this one party guest walks in and he goes, the general atmosphere of this party is Macbethish, which is like
I love that.
such a great foreshadowing thing and such a great way to enter a party. Like
Fasten your seatbelts.
really good shit.
Going to be a bumpy night.
Yes.
I like that. That was what I liked from the party.
And so a bunch of people show up, and we're introduced to who's with who. And one of these notable ones is Jared, you were right, or John, you were right. Addison shows up with Marilyn Monroe as his date. That was Jared. And this is when I wrote down, wait, she's actually hot, question mark, question mark, question mark. Because always she's like kind of like chubby in like the photos you see of her.
She was starting to have
Come
weight
on
issues in the
now.
50s. No, she was like considered like a plus size in
Boys.
the 50s. Now she's like considered like extra small from today's standards of a nice corn-fed American woman.
Listen, if you would look, would you call Kim Kardashian chubby?
At stages, potentially. Chloe, for sure.
But
Older, back
I
in the
think
day,
she
Chloe.
just, I don't think she wasn't chubby. She just wasn't a pencil rod, bro.
Yeah,
She just looks. She looks like she was doing a run. What's that word? Ridden hard and left out to dry.
Ritterall?
Damn!
Ridden hard.
Like a horse?
She looks bad. Like she looks beaten down by life because of her life decisions. When
Chloe
you see
or
her
Kim?
in typical like.
No, Monroe.
Oh.
I will agree with that.
But then in this one, she's looking young. She's looking tight. She's looking innocent.
Yeah, that's
Here's
true. She does have less in her face.
Yeah.
Here's what is weird, I think, about this casting. So, like, Marilyn Monroe, like, infamously, like, kind of, like, used and abused by Hollywood producers. Like, oh, we'll give you this role. But, like, it was always, like, the sexual harassment, the Weinstein type, like, quid quo pro sexual favors for casting. And, like, Addison, in his, like, bringing her as a date is essentially, like, doing that. Like, we'll
Except
have
he's a
this role.
critic.
Yeah, but, like, he was networking her.
Right, go speak to that producer over there. Show him the goods.
Yeah, exactly. And like, why else is she hanging out with him? He's not like a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
And like, what is he getting in return?
There's
So
a
like,
room full of Weinsteins.
and that's what's crazy is like, they
Imagine
were,
the
like,
Diddy party that these people could have.
These people could have had a crazy.
I was,
freak-off given all
I
the
got
fucking
through an
repressed
interesting-
energy they had. Like, goddamn.
where was this? A Salon article talking about like Hollywood orgies of the 50s.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
What were they like?
They were Macbethish.
Macbeth. I like it how Margot got very hammered at this party.
Yes, she gets very drunk and very sad, and she's like, "Play that song again, play that song again" to the pianist, which is so funny. Like, when Jared's drunk and he's like doing touch tunes and he like the same song over
Right.
and over again.
Comfortably
This is a
numb.
bitch doing it to a goddamn live pianist. It's so good.
Bro, I wish I
Yeah,
had
imagine
that
like you
power.
didn't have an aux at the party. Got to wait for fucker to stop playing the piano.
But
you
everyone's
could,
drinking martinis and giblets and smoking, and they're dressed nice. Like, the vibes are kind of on point, even though.
What was up with
everyone's being
people
crazy.
hanging out in people's bedrooms? Did you notice that? Like, that
That happens at parties now. You just don't go to them.
Dude, when did you hang out in somebody's bedroom?
At a house party all the time, you're doing blow in a bedroom.
yeah, I mean, I don't go to the bedroom much.
Yeah, I feel like that's the sketchy people.
Well, it should have been cooler. That's all I gotta say. We've got a great classic film moment for this podcast. We've got Max, the fat lawyer, asking for Tums at the party. Did anyone catch that?
Yes.
That was a great moment
Dude,
for us.
That's me. I'm the one bugging the host. You got Tums?
Incredible. But imagine
she
going up and
says-
being like, "Can we get some sodium bicarbonate, please?"
That's what we need to start doing.
And she goes, "I'll put a jar with your name on it."
You can own all of them.
Imagine somebody
That's
saying
hot.
that to
If
you.
someone
Would
said
you
that to
not
me, I'd
marry
be like,
them?
"Panties are coming off."
Bro. Yeah.
She rules there. And then at this point, Margot asks Max to give Eve a job. So she's trying to get rid of Eve at this point. She's like, just give her a job so she's not in my life, reminding me of my husband's birthday, etc., etc. Then Eve, still drunk. No, wait. Then Eve tells Karen that she wants to be Margot's understudy and goes on this relatively narcissistic rant about how she wants the adulation of crowds. Does anyone remember that? She starts to show her hand a little bit here about like she wants to be a star. So we're starting to see that maybe Margot is right about her suspicions of Eve. Yeah. Here's a question
Why
for
is she
you
even at the
boys.
party?
We already talked about what? Why is she at
Why
the
is
party?
she
She
even at the
probably
party?
organized it. She probably organized it.
Yeah, Margot's pretty incapable.
bitch.
I didn't like this is like the upper class divide of like how they treated people. Because she had her and her other lady, her other assistant, and she kind of just treats them like shit, but like acts like they're there for her she's their friend, but like still treats them like shit.
Yeah, I think
She's
Margot's
a
not a
fucking
great lady
star.
either.
She's a
Yeah,
fucking
but
star.
yeah, it's true. She's a star. She's a Broadway star, not a movie star.
Right, which isn't.
So there's a Broadway movie.
They make it seem like being a Broadway star is better than being a movie star.
That's
That is
still
the
a
way
divide.
it was at the time.
No, there's still a divide on that.
Yeah, there's still a divide, and at the time, Broadway was more clout heavy.
Hollywood, up until I would say like maybe a little bit after this era, was like seen as like a degrading form of a theater.
Yes, yes.
The talkies.
Adorno moment. And
Imagine thinking a Broadway star was bigger than a movie star today. Like the fucker guy who played SpongeBob on stage is better.
Well, that's
than...
like Jared is like close to thinking that sometimes. I feel like
Okay, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
They should kill
the only
him.
reason anyone cares about him is because he was on Curb.
Yes, and Sopranos. He was in one episode.
Oh yeah.
When Tony and Paulie are going down to Florida, they stop at a hotel and they're like, "Is that steakhouse still here?" And Lin-Manuel Miranda tells them no.
Classic.
It's turned into a Hyatt or something.
So we've talked about Marilyn Monroe's attractiveness, but now I have a question for you: who's hotter, Eve or Marilyn Monroe's character?
I gotta say Marilyn.
I'm saying Marilyn, but I do find
Eve would have been Harvey would have loved Eve.
I
liked
Anne
Eve.
Baxter. She's more my type than Marilyn Monroe. I would approach.
Yeah, for sure.
I would approach Eve.
Yeah, I'd risk it all for Eve. For sure. Okay, just asked. Margot has yet another little drunken freak out, and that's that. But Eve is now the understudy and is reading lines with Miss Caswell, who's Marilyn Monroe's character, because, I don't know, they just are, and Eve does a really good job at the reading because Margot is late or something like this, right? And Margot's like, why do I have to be on time? I'm the star.
Oh yeah, this was not good.
And then so Eve gets really angry at Lloyd, who's the director of the movie, of the show. And then Lloyd is like, he has some great burns here. He says, a body with a voice is taking itself as a mind, which is like, whoa. It's like dunking on Margot. Like, you are just an actor. Like, you don't get to fucking say shit. And then he also says, it's about time the piano realizes it hasn't written the concerto. Which he's like, basically like, you just do what I tell you to do. Like, shut the fuck up.
Dance monkey.
Yeah. Dance monkey. So he's kind of smacking her around. We're getting some anti-feminist language in this movie that ends up being a kind of a feminist masterpiece. And then Bill is getting pissed off now. He's like the writer, but he's not the director. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Playwright.
Yeah, he's the playwright. And so Bill then gets mad at Margot for being paranoid about Eve. He's like, Eve's just a personal assistant who's now your understudy. It's not a big deal. She's not conniving to take over, but like, man, is he wrong. And so...
Do you think he's oblivious to that, or he just is like, I want to be with Eve?
I think he's oblivious. What do you think?
Probes.
I think he wants to be with Eve.
Damn, you guys are crazy. Interesting. So things are really spiraling out of control with the Eve-Margot relationship at this stage. And things are also getting a bit tense between Margot and her friends Bill, Lloyd, and Karen. Well, I guess Bill isn't really her friend. He's her lover. But things are getting tense between those four. The big foursome. So what, of course, do you do when things are tense? Well, of course, you go on a couple's friends trip. And so that's what they do. And Karen says right before the trip that she has a plan to teach Margot a lesson, which this sounds a lot like some of the conversations going on in our friendships sometimes before a trip. But I'll leave that
Who does that?
I don't know.
Who was taught a lesson?
I feel like you guys we're all always trying to teach each other lessons on our little hangouts.
Sure.
Anyways.
I'm not trying. There's no lessons being taught.
I'm just happy to spend time with friends.
Absolutely. And I
right.
feel
Well,
same.
Bill doesn't feel that way, so he doesn't come on the trip. And so it's just Margot and then this other couple, Lloyd and Karen. And on the way home, Tim already gave a little bit of a spoiler for this. the car runs out of gas, and it turns out Margot's going to miss her performance, which is bad. I think it's like a Sunday matinee. And so if Margot's going to miss her performance, then who's going to take over the acting?
I know.
Who?
Eve.
Yeah, Eve, the understudy. So, yeah, it turns out that Karen has drained the gas from the car in order to teach Margot a lesson. And then Eve phone calls every single theater journalist in town and says, hey, there's going to be an understudy tonight, and they're really going to rock your socks off like this conniving bitch, right? And so Eve plays Margot's role, and everyone loves it. And Eve then makes a sexual advance at Bill, who's Margot's husband/lover. And so Eve is now basically starting to complete the process of, as we see in The Substance, taking over the older woman's life. And it's pretty crazy, right? What are we thinking at this stage about their relationship?
I was like, no.
Did you guys get like Parasite vibes from this?
How so?
Like the class point of it?
Yeah, no, not the movie Parasite, sorry. Like parasitic relationship, like
Oh yeah, 100%.
Especially like a virus or a parasite takes over the host and
Yes.
becomes one.
Yes,
Yeah,
I agree.
There's a lot of talk about, she's too old for Hollywood anymore, or for Broadway. And yeah.
Well, yeah, you ever see the South Park episode where they like make fun of Britney Spears and like show like the new Britney Spears is Miley Cyrus?
Oh yeah.
And this is, I think the whole the visionary aspect of this. See, that's why I don't really see this as a feminist movie. I see this as more so like Hollywood admitting to itself how it just moves on from people, and you get used,
thrown in the trash.
What did you say about Maryland? Ridden hard, drained, left out to dry.
Yeah, I don't know what that phrase is, but it's a phrase. I don't think it's as dirty as it sounds.
That's a crazy phrase.
It sounds so dirty.
I don't think it's as dirty.
I'm going
as
to
it
use
sounds.
that in a meeting this week, and
I think it has something to do with like horses.
Say that to your wife and see how that she takes that one.
Yeah.
Yes. So to both of your points about aging and womanhood, there's a great line that I was struggling to read my handwriting with earlier. I believe this is what Margot says in the car while she's coming to terms with the fact that she's missing her performance. She says, there's one career that all women share, being a woman. Sooner or later, we all have to work at it. And so the idea here is like womanhood is kind of like this burden on women to perform, and you'd have to perform it. And then once you start getting older, it becomes harder and harder to pull that off.
Which, I mean, that's something Barbie was getting across 60 years later, and they had to hit you over the head with it. So the fact that, I mean, come on. Barbie wasn't breaking ground here.
No, Mank really, like, for whatever you have gripes you have to do with his like style in terms of dialogue writing, or like if you can't get your head around the movie from the 1950s, like I understand those things, but the motherfucker could turn a phrase.
Yes.
Like nobody's business.
So here's a question I have. Did you guys feel like this was all theater, like actors, like the way they just delivered everything and the way they had like camera interactions? And like, I'm going to guess like all thespians of this time were originally stage folks that moved into screen.
Vaudevillians.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But like, because I felt very much like I was just sitting in a live audience for a lot of this, of how just like movements and like how they controlled their like interactions with other characters and how they like came into a room, how they delivered lines. Everything did not feel like a film, which like I was like looking back at like other movies from like the 30s and 40s, and I think, is that something you think Mink did deliberately, or like?
I think all the movies sort of did this.
Yeah, they all kind of feel that way back then.
The early talkers like, hey,
Yeah, but like I'm not.
And it's like much more scene based because the camera isn't going to move as much most of the time.
Yeah, and maybe I'm like using some points of reference, like Citizen Kane. I actually felt like was way less like that. And then I'm also using Gone with the Wind and Wizard of Oz, which you guys will make fun of me for.
Yeah, those are also plays. So then, like,
Mank wrote Wizard of Oz, didn't he?
No, that
He
was
did.
Frank
He's
L. Baum.
uncredited for it.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Whoa! Like you're
Yeah.
saying, like the screenplay?
Yeah, he wrote that shit, and then they kind of yanked it from him.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa!
He's
Odd
got a
like
real
that.
problem with getting credit for his work, which is why he was an alcoholic and all that other
Is
stuff.
that was because he's Jewish, or
I don't know.
was he like
don't know.
blackballed or blackballed? Like
It was
from, like,
earlier in his career. Like
Was
that
he a
was his first.
McCarthyism guy? Like, did he like get blackballed like Arthur Miller?
I don't think so. I think this was just he was early trying to make it, and people took advantage of him because he was a genius.
I did like the Arthur Miller reference at one point.
There was something that we were talking about. Oh, the acting. Okay, so yes, I agree with you, Jared, about it feeling a bit like a play. Obviously, it has to do with their training, but obviously, it also has to do with like the structural constraints of the time of filmmaking in this era. I will say, and this is maybe going to be, I don't know how you guys will take this, but the acting in general, not just the 4 women who get awards, but like the men as well. Like these people are, in my opinion, acting their goddamn asses off. Like the facial gestures, the intonations, all of it. Like I think that every single person in this film is out acting almost every single person in every new film.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. I think Betty Davis especially. But there is no ancillary character who's like not.
I would say Betty Davis is
stepping
the only one I felt like did that. Everyone else I felt like could not get them past.
I mean,
like holding up to a modern actor. Like I'm gonna hot take.
I think Eve was crushing as well.
Marilyn Monroe was not crushing, really.
You know, she's barely relevant. But like, I think the men were also quite good. The 3 main men were also quite good.
Yeah, good
and like
facial
to think that like Betty Davis was up for Best Actress for this, and then that's compared to some of the Best Actress performances of today, it like boggles my fucking mind. Like I'm like, we have gone so far backwards. Like it's unbelievable.
I'm giving Betty Davis all due credit. All the men in the movie, I thought that provided nothing really that special.
Interesting.
Ann Baxter, I honestly would like, dude, I think I'm going to sound, your guys going to hate this. I would make the hot take Scarlett Johansson and like Black Widow is on par with her.
That's terrible take.
That's
she's
how
so
low
subtle.
the bar.
No, she's so subtle the way that she portrays her conniving nature, I think. Like, and like when she like is like, hanging the dress in front of her at one point, or like she like hears something happening and backs up a little bit to like kind of get out of the scene. Like I love those moments. Like I think she really like was acting her ass off with her body.
Okay.
I
I'll let
agree.
you have that.
I mean, yeah, who won the last Women's Academy Awards for Best Actress? Mikey Madison for
Yeah, no.
Trash.
Absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely not.
Betty would.
I like that movie, but that's not
Oh,
the same as this.
Nora?
That's a
I like
completely
Nora.
different. No, it's a good movie, but that's a completely different. Like, it's apples and oranges.
Yeah,
Like it really is.
and in
for
more
me.
than one way.
In more than one way. Actually, I don't know
Watermelons
what
and
Betty's
grapes.
hangers look like, but
But okay, I think my argument
Swing
goes up is like
low,
the bar of like being able to like
chariot.
control a scene is a lot higher now, and there's so much more like studying criticism. Is there a lot more worse movies being made and like a lot terrible screenplays? Absolutely, I'm not disagreeing with this. I think the screenplay is good, but like your actual ability for perfection and to like reshoot and critique is way better now, and that's why we get better quality. But there's also a ton of garbage quality, and that's what drives the difference between a good film and a bad film.
yeah, maybe. Or maybe the fact that you can't reshoot makes it higher quality because you have to get it right the first time.
Well, and you can tell not all these were right the first time.
Yeah, but I think they were acting their asses off. That's all I have to say.
They gave a great effort. Give them that.
So then Eve makes a pass at Bill, and then Addison comes into the room, and he says to Eve, "Oh, I want you to let's take a shot, and I want you to be covered by my column." And so he writes a glowing review, and Margot completely freaks out at this stage. Then Lloyd is thinking about casting Eve in his new play that's been hyped up throughout the movie so far. And Karen is mad about this. She's like, no, you can't do that. Like, you're going to hurt Margot so badly. Like, what the fuck? Margot's our friend, XYZ. And so once again, this troubled foursome of Lloyd, Bill, Margot, and Karen, they go out to drinks together. And the occasion is to celebrate Bill and Margot getting married. And Margot basically says like, "Oh, I'm getting married because my career is over and I'm old as fuck now," which is like pretty funny. Like,
Yeah.
that's not really how women do
But
shit
she-
anymore. So kind of badass in my opinion.
But she's kind of excited about it.
Yeah, she seems like she's handling
She's
this
at
with
peace.
like maturity and grace.
I think she's
yeah.
wanted a way out.
Maybe.
But she
it seems
genuinely seems happy about it. Like
yeah.
she's come to
And
terms
then-
with her life.
But this
When
kind
does
of
one
this,
reach-
the
what is it,
sparkle
the
of this
super
moment is
ego?
kind of dulled because, of course, who's there? Eve, and she's with Addison. And Eve sends a note to Karen, and she's like, "Come talk to me in the bathroom." And then they go up to his bathroom. What do you guys think of this bathroom?
This is when there's somewhere to sit.
I like
There's
those
many
bathrooms.
chairs, and there's like
Like,
full makeup stations.
Have you been in bathrooms like these before?
Kidding me?
No,
I'll go into the
haven't.
women's bathroom. Yeah, because you sneak in there.
No, there's men's lounges like that.
Maybe like once or twice, like at a country,
like at a
club or
private
something.
club.
Yeah, and like Asia, at like these like nice 5-star hotels, because some people just like they'll go to the bathroom, take a shit, and then smoke the shit off. Like you smoke a
sick.
cigarette.
They grab
in
the
shitter.
they grab the turd out and they light it and they smoke the shit off.
Big old turd cigar.
So yeah, they're in the bathroom.
Crazy that people sit in toilets and women are getting away with such nice bathrooms. And
Yeah.
one of the weird things that they have over men.
That's why I'm all for gender neutral bathrooms, so we can all have the couches.
No, they'd get rid of them.
They definitely would get rid of them. Men would fuck it up.
Getting poop on the seat. Could you
Piss
imagine
on
if
the
they
couch.
put a chair in a men's room?
Oh,
So stinky. There'd be so many poo-poo stains on there.
It
And
needs to be
pee-pee.
leather.
Leather.
even still, leather can smell.
This is when I did not like Eve. This is when my whole thing changed. What a conniving
And
bitch.
tell me why.
This bitch feigns remorse. She's all apologetic. And then boldface admits that she just wants this role that she was born to play. And could you put in a good word for me? I mean, disgusting. It almost makes me spit on the ground. It was so gross.
Well, and she also blackmails Karen.
How did she black her? I forgot.
Well, so first she says, "Oh, I didn't know what I was saying in my interview with Addison that you're all upset about." Lie, right? She's like, "Oh, I was
Right.
confused. I was intoxicated." Then she says, "Get me the part." That's annoying, as John just mentioned. But then she says, "If you don't get me that part, I am going to tell everyone about your prank where you removed the gas from Margot's car to make her late to the."
Oh, I got lost in that. I didn't know that part came out.
And so
Holy crap.
she gives the fake apology. She asks straight out for her conniving to pay off, and then she threatens. Then this bitch goes back downstairs, leaves the bathroom, sits down with Addison, and lies about the blackmailing. She says, "Oh, I went. We didn't talk about anything. I just apologized."
Oh, and he knows immediately. He's like, I know what you did. Because he sees through the bullshit with his long cigar on a stick.
Yeah, the long fucking cigar holder is crazy.
They gotta bring those back, but for like Zins, where you get a big long stick and you like put the Zin in your mouth with the stick. You take it out.
I have been getting a sick a lot recently, and I'm like, maybe it's because I'm shoving my fingers up in my lip all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you touch your butt and your nose, and then you go down your throat.
So then we cut back to the table with the foursome at the wedding announcement. And Margot says, "Actually, I don't want to be in Lloyd's play at all anymore because I'm getting married." And then Karen, who just got blackmailed, starts laughing hysterically. And she's like, doesn't explain herself. She just starts laughing hysterically. So just a bunch of women being completely out of pocket at this point, terrible friends to each other, etc.
I felt bad for her. She's like, yeah, I don't want to be in the role anymore. It's like she's being honest and humble and saying that.
She found her way out.
Oh, because she knew it was inevitable that she was going to be kicked out. So she's
Yeah, I think she's kind of trying to save face there a little bit.
interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Damn,
Especially
these
with
women.
Eve in the room.
These fucking women, they'll say one thing and do another.
Uh-huh. And then Eve starts doing the play, the new play, and Bill and Lloyd as playwright and director are beefing the whole time, apparently. They're just yelling at each other, screaming, which it's like, is that because they of the drama that's been going on here too? Or is it because they both want to smash Eve? Like, it's hard to say, right?
Yeah.
And at one point, Eve, quote unquote, has a mental breakdown and needs Lloyd to come help her before they go to take the show on the road, basically. And so Lloyd leaves to go see her. But actually, we find out that Eve has put her neighbor up to making this SOS distress call as a way to steal Lloyd from Karen. And so she's like faked a mental breakdown basically to try to get Lloyd away from Karen before they take the show on the road. And now they're on the road. They're in like some upstate town to premiere the new play. And Addison shows up and is talking to Eve in her hotel room, and he gets really mad about the news that Eve and Lloyd are supposedly going to be getting married. So Eve has successfully stolen Lloyd from Karen now on the basis of this fake mental breakdown. And he gets real pissed off. He says, "No, you're mine. You're mine now. I own you," basically.
I was a little scared. I was like, Harvey, here comes Harvey.
He's like, "No, I'm in control of you, not Lloyd. You can't have stolen Lloyd away from her."
And then I was like, how's he going to do this?
Right, like, what is he talking about? What do you mean you own me? Like, he's not saying
Yeah.
we're going to get married, I love you. He says, I'm in charge of you, shut the fuck up,
I
basically.
mean, I know
It's
the
like,
50s were crazy, in the studio system, but I mean, come on now.
Yeah, like, how are you going to enforce this? But he reveals that he knows that Eve's backstory about her husband dying and seeing Margot in San Francisco is a lie.
I think she folded a little too easily.
I thought so too. Because what proof did he really have?
You'd be like, you've lost your mind. I'm calling the loony bin and having you take it away.
Well, like, if someone asks you the name of a theater in San Francisco where you saw something and you haven't been to San Francisco to see something, you don't make up the name of a random theater and hope you're right. You just say, oh, I can't remember.
Yeah.
You know, she's a bad liar. For someone who
bad
manipulates
detail.
the fuck out of everyone in this movie, she's not that good at manipulating Addison.
Could you imagine if they just called her out immediately on that when they first met her? They're like, what are you talking about? Get out of my dressing room.
Yeah,
And then that was the
random
movie.
stalker who we've invited in, you like, get out. Like,
And the movie would be called Nothing About Eve.
Yeah.
She gets kicked out.
Can I
Roll
go back a
credits.
little bit?
yeah, go back, Drew.
What was the whole thing in the beginning where they're like talking about Southern actresses and like they're saying the South didn't lose, they didn't starve us out, or Southern women were
Oh.
starved of love?
That
What
I
was that
don't
all-
remember.
Is Margot Southern?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was
I
like a
vaguely
weird
remember
thing.
that part, but I don't.
And then
I
like
don't
she
know.
started with the Southern accent, and it kind of just didn't go anywhere after that. So I was like, was that the character? She was like getting out of character or something, or
Oh,
I
maybe,
was
yeah.
I was
Well,
She might have been
confused by it.
practicing a line or something.
Well,
I have no idea.
there's one other thing from the beginning we didn't touch on. There was a Gettysburg mention.
Yeah, that's what I was going with that.
Oh, I don't
She
know.
said Gettysburg. She meant Sumter.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I nearly stood up and applauded because we will be at the Gettysburg Film Festival in
April 12th to
April.
the 14th.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Look for our one-on-one or three-on-one with Ken Burns on April 13th scheduled.
And then we will take a Q&A in the Majestic Theater.
America's Theater, some people
So
call
that's
it.
just a little sneak peek, and maybe we'll do a live viewing of something about Mary, and we'll talk about
Man,
Yes.
yeah. It's one of Ken's favorite.
it. Ken loves that movie.
and so, in
Email
addition
him.
to
That's a good
Addison,
reminder for me to email him.
yes, our close personal friend Ken, will just email him. In addition to Addison revealing he knows about Eve's made-up backstory, he also calls her out for all her manipulative behavior so far, and so Eve agrees that she belongs to Addison. She gives in completely at this stage. And now we cut back to the award ceremony. This is the big payoff from the beginning. We saw the award ceremony. Now we know how we got there, maybe. Eve gives this stunning, honestly, acceptance speech, both in terms of acting and the words that she chooses. She thanks the whole gang and says some things that are like nice, but not dishonest. You know what I mean? Like, she's like very good at being grateful and then not lying about the things that have happened in this speech. So it's very well done.
Empty platitudes.
No, she's like, oh, you showed me how to be an act. Like, these are true things that she's saying, true and nice things, but she's not like acting like they're still best friends. I thought it was nice.
Right. Oh, their face. Some of the facial reactions are great. Where they're like,
Yes, really good. Like shocked. Imagine like you go to some speech and it's like some mortal enemy of yours and they thank you. You'd be like, no, I fucking hate you. Like,
yeah. I mean, that must happen in real life in those speeches.
It definitely must. It definitely must. Almost every time, probably that a movie, like a person like thanks everyone in the cast and crew, they're lying. Like there's always beef. You know.
Yeah.
I wonder if Will Smith. I wish he would have done something for Chris Rock when he like accepted his.
Well, yeah. Oh, that he accepted that night. He didn't think he did anything wrong. That was insane.
Is that the most drama that's occurred in an award ceremony since All About Eve?
Yes. Get your.
What
hands
about
off
Taylor and Kanye?
I was thinking like when Marlon Brando brought like the American Indian girl.
Oh
up.
yes, and people booed.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
So
Yeah,
award
that's
ceremonies, they
pretty
can be
good.
dramatic. That's the lesson I think we've learned here. Eve notably
people-
thanks every single cast member except for Addison, which was an interesting thing because Addison's the guy who like kind of got her there and supposedly she belongs to him. Eve then decides she's going to skip the after party. She's like, I don't know, feeling weird about something.
Because her whole world is like crumbling around her.
Yeah. And then there's like a random girl just like asleep on the couch of her hotel room.
Phoebe.
Great ending.
Yes, Phoebe, who claims she's a journalist. And she basically
claims she's like a high school club president.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's
What
like
a
a
weird fucking club.
weird sketchy lie and like is somehow in the hotel room.
You
And
could
then
have a
she's
club
like,
in the 50s. Like, what school club would you have that would be really fucking weird? You could have like penis club. And, like, everyone would have to go and look at penises.
Turning Point USA. I'd open a chapter.
We are Charlie Kirk.
Should we? I think we should take an over under. Will there be a Charlie Kirk in memoriam at any of the award shows this year?
Oh God!
Or someone give
There
Charlie Kirk a
was
shout out.
there was on the CNN
Year in review type thing.
New Year's Eve. They flashed Charlie up there,
that's crazy.
which I thought took guts.
So now, not to step on the really nice ending that Tim has pointed to, the young journalist Phoebe is in the room and someone knocks on the door and it's the Addison and he hands her the
Adorno?
trophy. Hands her the trophy and she accepts it and then she tells something, oh, don't worry about it, Eve, it's just the cab driver, blah, 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 it's your award. And then she's like hanging out in Eve's room and like trying on the dress and doing everything that Eve was doing to Margot at the beginning of the movie. And so the cycle of female impermanence and beauty and aging and desire for stardom, the cycle continues.
Well, and how about the reflection of her in the mirrored, whatever it is, the dressing room? You see 1,000 of it. It's like there's just another one in line, another one to replace.
Yes. And then that's the end of the movie.
That's
Phoebe,
pretty incredible.
Barbara
Pretty incredible
Bates.
ending. Pretty incredible ending.
I thought, you guys, what's your thoughts on Phoebe?
I don't remember her actually.
The next
Beauty.
The next one?
Yeah.
Dude, she was like 16.
Okay, when the film was made, she was 25.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I thought, she's pretty crazy.
Crazy ending.
Suck their teeth into it. And Eve was almost acting like an older woman, too, when she's like, put my trophy over there,
Yes.
playing
Well,
the
she
role.
learned from the best.
Yep. She's now still imitating Margot in some way. So with that,
They
that's
should remake this and make it a really...
I feel like they have.
Have they?
I mean,
they
they
have-
have, but it's been like different. So some people
Yeah.
say Magic Mike is based on this movie.
Yes. I wanted to get to that.
So it's been influential to say the least. And that's the end of the movie. I don't really have any prepared discussion questions other than maybe some thoughts that we can all share about stardom and womanhood, and is it
I
a
have a
feminist movie? Is it not?
I thought about this while watching because I was waiting for fish to be part of this. I couldn't find any fish. There might have been shrimp cocktails at one of the parties.
You said shrimp cocktails. Crazy. That's a crazy intonation.
Shrimp cocktails. I had a lot of shrimp cocktails on my cruise. So I wanted to create a little fish analogy because I think of parasites. There's a lot of parasites in the ocean. So Eve is like a little bottom feeder. She's gonna attach herself to a host like a big old whale or a big type of fish and
Shark.
Yeah, or shark. I like that. Or I think Addison's a shark. But everything she's doing, she's just getting resources from, and she's trying to think it like, oh, I'm actually mutualistic. I'm going to benefit you, but she's just sucking the lifeblood and resource out of everybody.
Yeah.
Hollywood or theater is the aquarium that's holding everything together. And there's the glass walls, the reflections and mirrors. But in an aquarium, it's kind of like an endless replication of itself. Like fish think they're in the ocean, but they're not actually.
Yeah.
And then Phoebe at the end just shows that we're actually just a school of fish, that there's another parasite ready to latch on once that original parasite becomes the host. And it's just an endless cycle.
Absolutely.
And you're just
It's just
two
a
lost
cycle.
souls.
It's just a circle of life, honestly.
Yeah, you're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl year after year, as Pink Floyd would say.
So
I was
true.
trying to think of other workplaces or careers that have like this similar dynamic.
I think all middle managers are like this too. Yeah.
Latch on.
You latch on.
Coast.
Eventually you're just replaced.
Replace.
I think academia is a lot like this, actually. Because once you hit tenure, you give up a little bit. You take on students. The students eventually have to kill the master to prove themselves. Yeah.
Is this very much like, would you say this is a nihilistic film?
I think it's just a realistic film. And I don't
It's
know
got a
that
bad look. I mean, I don't think it's feminist. Like, it seems the opposite of feminist.
for women because they're acting badly.
Yes.
Right, but I think the way that it shows the reasons that they're acting badly makes it feminist.
Oh,
so
because
the
of,
external
like,
pressure of men
The male gaze.
is the thing that's driving all of this. Like the fact that like Margot and Eve's self-worth is so tied to their age and attractiveness, and the way that Marilyn Monroe is pawned off, as Jared pointed out, and the way that this cycle continues is it's not driven by like women's internal failures. It's driven by men's insatiable appetites for more.
Wow.
And that's why that
think
one
that's
line about
true.
like there's only one career that we all share as women, and it's being women, and at some point we all have to work at it. Like that's the line. You know?
I wish Margot would turn into someone like a Catherine Bigelow and just like.
And the way that men say like, "Oh, you're a piano, I'm the pianist," like. I don't think that Mink is not saying I believe these things. Mink is saying this is the way men act, and look at what it does.
Right.
You know.
Did Mink treat women right?
No, probably not.
You guys know his story more than me.
Based off of the movie, he was kind of a drunken fuck,
He's just a dick.
but he's a genius.
Self-aware, maybe.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I never thought it that way. I wonder if people in the audience were cognizant of that. I have to think not.
I'm sure. I mean, also, like, here's another thing: is like the vocabulary and the references in this movie are like very highbrow.
I thought
And so
that too.
I think it is reasonable to assume that the viewer is actually perhaps more likely to understand that than the current viewer.
I did like that it was a lot of intelligent dialogue. Like I never felt dumb watching this.
Well,
And the clip at which it moves, it's impossible to not be entertained.
yeah, I, thought
I mean,
it was very.
it's
it was
messy and
entertaining the whole
dramatic,
time.
but you also are just like
Yeah.
beat for beat, you know?
There's no like sitting. There's not much, at least, with a character as they wallow in their sadness. I mean, there's a little bit of it, but it keeps going. It keeps moving. Makes me think, did the gays realize that this is a feminist movie, or are they just in it for the snarkiness?
Yeah, that I don't know. I don't know why it is that the gays love it, other than the Betty Davis and the snarkiness.
Mm.
And gays do hate women, so
Why do
often, at least.
Gays hate women.
Anyone else have discussion questions before we get into final thoughts?
Do you think they could make this movie today? This was made fucking A. 76 years ago? Could they have wait, right? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Could they have
76 years
made
ago.
could they make this today?
No. I mean, I think it would have to be slower if it were made today, because I don't think contemporary audiences would be able to follow it.
Well, no, I mean fucking A. David Fincher, he writes fast dialogue, doesn't he? Like
The same guy who
I
made the
feel like-
Link movie. That's funny.
I feel like it could be made.
Oh.
I feel like it is consistently made, but just told in a different way, like we've already talked about.
Right, exactly. Like Substance kind of tries to do this.
I think this would actually, there's an appetite for this right now if they did do a remake, simply because like the criticisms of Hollywood in the past decade, following like the Weinstein and the whole, I almost said don't ask, don't tell, but Me Too movement
Yeah. Yeah, Me Too movement. Yeah, that's true.
and don't ask, don't tell.
I think sort of
Okay,
the Substance is doing that, though.
so if they made this again, who would play the characters? Who would play Eve? Who would play Eve?
Who would play Eve?
Oh, it has to be someone young, ambitious.
Sid Sween.
No, Sid
Or like an
Sweeney.
Ana de Armas, or like the Lily Rose Depp,
Ana de Armas would be good.
or like Mia Goth.
And then who's playing Bette Davis? Betty Davis.
Like a Nicole Kidman.
Oh yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Ooh, Gwyneth would be good.
Yeah.
Maybe
guys
like
see
a Julia
Gwyneth?
Roberts.
Did you guys see Gwyneth in
Not yet. I haven't
movie?
seen it. Don't say anything.
Couple scenes. You're gonna want to open your eyes.
Interesting.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Have
so
you
one of
not
those
seen
types.
Marty yet? Have you not seen Marty yet, dude?
I haven't seen Marty either.
I was sick for the last week.
Bruh.
Bruh. Who would play the men?
I feel like
John
the men weren't that
Harbaugh,
outstanding. I think anyone
Mike-
could have been thrown in it, man.
John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin,
Kevin
Stefanski,
Stefanski.
Zach Taylor.
and Zach Taylor. I would kill
Which was the
for
fat
a
Jew?
sitcom. Tomlin. I would kill for a sitcom with those four. Or like a Big Brother style, they're trapped in a room.
He is called
Yeah.
the North.
The
Them and
North-
their wives.
No. They have to fuck each other. There's no.
It's kind of what this whole season was.
Okay, any other discussion questions?
Any Catholic connections we want to try to pursue on this?
None, I don't think.
No, these are sinners. These are born sinners.
Well, I would say Eve is like tries to come off as like a very like, blue-eyed saint with her like story of like small town in Wisconsin.
Brewery.
Also, I love that backstory. Brewing. Like,
She's an accountant at a brewery or something.
When she actually was fucking the boss or something.
Yeah, and she like gets paid off like a lot of money.
yeah, I'm confused on that.
Go off, Queen.
Yeah. What else was going on with that? Oh, well, the World War II pilot, her husband dying. Like, great backstory. I liked it.
That's kind of stolen valor, right?
A little bit. It is stolen valor, one could claim.
I think it's
That's
funny
a-
that she's an accountant and her husband died in a plane crash. It's an army thing. It sounds like Jared's life or Rebecca's life, I suppose.
Yeah, I see a lot of Eve and Rebecca. She's playing the
hope
long
She's
so.
a conniving bitch.
No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think so.
I don't think Eve's a bitch. I think she's just...
Rebecca's probably most similar to Marilyn Monroe's character.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Her shoulders do look nice.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to say, Dan.
Cool. So let's transition into final thoughts. We're going to start with, I guess, next pick is J Red. So we'll start with Tim.
Wait, I'm next pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I picked a comedy in the Muslim world.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
so you go
Well,
think
while
of
Tim,
one.
I got one on deck.
Okay.
Okay.
I going to be honest, started this up and I thought, if I wanted to watch the Turner Classic Movies, I'd go to my grandpa's house and take a seat on his big lazy boy.
Uh-huh.
But this pleasantly surprised me, and I do like the reading that Menk is like low-key feminist king. The ending is smart, so smart, and you really, I could see myself watching this in the theater and being like, oh! being shocked and gasping.
Yeah.
This thing was good acting, as Danny mentioned, off the charts. Everybody's acting their ass off. And I could see Menk. I do like the Menk being kind of like a David Fincher, like, oh, hey, better speaking, and I'm going to respond quick, and you respond. And that it works. It works too. And I could see how people would be sick of it. You're breathing in your mic, Danny.
It's so bad.
And then, yeah, I liked this film. I think this is something I'd watch again with a keener eye. So I appreciate Danny bringing this to our attention, and I'm going to give this. I think I have to give this a 4.5.
Damn. Let's fucking go.
I think I have to give it a 4.5.
Yeah, I'll take it.
This thing
Sorry
was
for the
good.
breathing folks at home. Okay, let's see. How do I not repeat everything Tim just said? Smart. Witty dialogue. Great ending. Amazing acting. I think not enough credit has been given in our recapitulation of it to the cinematography. Obviously, the camera's not moving a whole ton, but the shots of people's faces from like the shoulders up, and we're just seeing them, and the lighting in the black and white is incredible at all times. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. It's a classic. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5.
Damn.
Whoa.
Okay. Try not to repeat as much as well. My big gripe was just the limitations of what actors could do at the time, and I'm only holding that against them a little bit. Runtime was very nice. Very happy with the runtime. And Danny, you mentioned this. It never got boring or too dull. And I thought I was really worried they were gonna like drag out this ending quite a bit, but they kind of, the whole Phoebe introduction, I thought that was really smooth. The narration at the beginning and like the random narration throughout, I'm a little indifferent on if I thought it was even necessary or that like internal dialogue was needed, because I feel like if there was more capable of being like true good screen actors rather than stage actors, you would be able to feel that through their demonstration. So I would like to see how this would be made in like a modern day. And I think The Substance is like the best comparison to it. And that none of that really required internal dialogue. That was like provided through narrative exposition. With that, 4.5 out of 5.
Holy
Damn,
crap.
let's fucking go.
Yeah.
I will say, Jared, now that you say it, the internal monologue thing is a Mank signature move.
Yeah, and that's because Citizen Kane has it, and I gotta freshen up on my Mink stuff because I feel like I don't know, or I've been not aware of what he actually provided, and that's due to my own ignorance, and I'm not smart enough for that, I guess.
Don't say that.
Oh, thanks.
Well, I mean, it was the 50s, and so this is our first foray into a much older film, and it really takes you to a different headspace when you watch the movie. It's a completely different experience.
I'd like to listen to this as this movie as a podcast and see. I feel like it would still be good.
I feel like this would be an incredible, like, actual series, like a 10-episode, like, Netflix series.
I can see that, actually.
With, like, sex scenes and...
HBO would do a great justice to this.
Like buttholes and...
So, I'm giving you guys 3 options on time frame here.
We don't do options.
No, you pick with your gut. Assert yourself like a man.
I'm trying to figure out if I want to do something that we want to do for topicality.
No, don't talk us through it. Just make a decision.
Okay.
You have to think about what's going to be topical in like a month from now when the episode comes out.
That's what I want to. That's what I'm thinking, guys. Like, it's very difficult.
Or don't do topical at all and pick something from the 1950s.
Well, I was thinking of something from the 1930s, actually, but you know what? I'm going with what I actually wanted to do. That's on my short list. For our next installation of Fishy Film Fridays, we're going to be covering 3 billboards outside Ebbing,
Oh.
Missouri.
I've actually never seen this.
This one I came across about a year ago, and I want to rewatch it. And I think this will provide a really. I enjoy it. This one I enjoyed a lot. I don't want to give too much away,
Yeah,
but
spoiler.
hopefully you guys get some out of it. And if you've never, Tim, you've seen it?
I don't actually think I have.
I think I ignored it because of lib reasons. I was like, that's just too lib. Yeah.
Yep. So I think you have to buy it on Amazon Prime. It might be streaming somewhere. But yeah, that's what we have for next one. I hope none of you are parasites in your life and you can actually do stuff on your own, like Lloyd.
Yeah, shout out Lloyd. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Who's Lloyd?